Hello, Critter. I'm Creature. ArtFight has ended, so my fight has come to an end too. So, I thought I would share my attacks this year and maybe say a few things about them. This is my icon for ArtFight, by the way. Starting with Iris. I was in a very spooky mood at the end of June. I was riding that summerween high and had my eyes set on Iris for a week or so before the fight started. I figured they would enjoy having some Halloween candy. Hopefully, they don't eat it all at once. The markings and the detail for the candy were tedious but not hard. Happy Summerween. I got attacked. Since I went in with the goal that I would revenge anyone who attacked me first, I found a target. Fawn, I think he's a seal. Has this phone, so making him use it was only natural. Color-wise, I was going with 3 colors, so it has a poster feel. I might have gone too hard on the chromatic aberration. The first human. Well, Harlow isn't human. I think that he would be a gargoyle. No, he is a grotesque. I know I wanted to do something moody with them, maybe high up like a gargoyle. He is afraid of heights. But it likes cemeteries. Cemeteries are moody. I started with a grayscale because they are pretty monochrome, and the value can be tricky with moody lighting. Let's just enjoy the music for a bit. I asked someone else to pick the next one. They picked Basil and Gracie. They picked Basil, but Gracie was a close second. So, I did both. Shape first helped with posing. It wasn't a thing I usually do. A simple dancing pose was my intent, and it was inspired by though in this actually rang name pose piece. Rubber hose is fun and so simple. Start with a skeleton. The first human of the fight, Charlie. When I realized that Colishare was on ArtFight, I had to attack them. I follow them on Instagram and see other stories almost every day. Charlie was the perfect subject for my once-in-a-lifetime earworm that became the talking head's brainrot. He was going to do the pose and I was going to listen to Muppet Tonight for the first time. After a few episodes were done, so was I, and it wasn't until then that I saw his reference sheet say he likes the talking heads. So, it all worked out in the end. I took a break to take a shower and think of a cool thing for the next attack. Techi continued my Muppets Tonight viewing. The plan was to be sneaky and cover a good amount of this body with a grid thing so I could count it as a full body because his head and foot were in frame. In good conscience, I labeled it half body. The colors weren't hard. I know I wanted a break screen in blue. His tubes and metal were the funniest parts to render. Nice track, right? And glitch. Scrolling through YouTube, I saw a post from Actually Ryu about their ArtFight attacks. They have an ArtFight. The next target would be 12. They are so bendy and weird, I'm sure that I could work something out. I gave them my OC Billy's hammer and worked out poses. I didn't want them to use the hammer correctly, but that broomstick vibe wasn't doing it. So, they use it as intended, but their pose is all weird. The colors have to be bright, so I used my neon colors as a limited palette. Oh, they're so silly. Something easy, something familiar. A puppet named Dawn. I've gotten pretty comfortable drawing puppets recently, and watching puppets recently has also made me feel confident. I wanted a more dynamic pose like 12, but I couldn't think of anything. So, I just gave them what I wanted, stars, lots of them. The pose is okay. The coloring was the more fun part. It's meant to mimic watercolors.
We now bring you back to your regularly scheduled PSA.
Mr. Cosmic was chosen because at this point I wanted to do a simpler character. His lore said he is the mascot for a presumably corrupt organization called the Butterfly Set. Now, doing something with his apocalypse setting was my first idea, but I don't know what kind of apocalypse it is. So, I went with a general trust us, not them fear of the other almost cult vibe. The color palette was limited to 3 colors to better suit the poster look I was going for. Moving on to fizzy blinkers. They were my first animated attack of this year's ArtFight. I believe I started this one in a waiting room and wanted to finish it there, but I was called sooner than I thought and didn't have the time to finish it until the day after. That morning I spent animating a silly gug, but I lost my spark from the day before. Animating juggling is something I've done before with Victor here. Fizzy is already an improvement as they have considerably more frames than this Victor animation. He only has 3. Enjoy the music. Oh, the patterns on the clown jumpsuit were always going to be separated texture layers going not to move with the body. Like how characters from Chowder work, very colorful and fun even if I was going slower than I'd like. Well, I just got back from posting. They attacked me, so per the rules I had to attack back. It didn't take long to pick a pose, and because they are mutuals with me on TikTok, I'm fairly familiar with how it looks. I believe this was only like an hour or so. The coloring style with the same watercolor brush from Dawn's attack definitely helped to speed things up. Still riding high off going to the Woolwood concert earlier in the week, I frantically worked on this drawing of my Fursona Cretan in my Woolwood concert outfit and finished the video for that. At almost 2 in the morning, it hit me I should draw that Gyaru girl, Colada, and she could be on a pool floaty and I could make it look like that one scene in Legally Blonde Elle's video essay. I'll just do the sketch right now, said like a liar. I finished the flat colors before calling it a night. In the morning I finished the shading and background for her. Let's vibe for a bit. I had neglected Magi and Bushiaki's birthday things long enough. July 20th through the 23rd were spent making the art for their birthday post and making this video, which please wouldn't you give it a watch after this one. The 23rd this video of Creature was made so that I had something to post that Wednesday. Astrum was a character I wanted to attack since June. Clouder's characters are lovely. I had animated one of their characters last year, Lonnie, so after fiddling around with poses, I animated Astrum's tail. Astrum's face looks too wide without the white markings, and I only really had to worrying about the tail stripes, not those dots. And in excitement I forgot his cheeks. By the way, I made a better short video to be posted with Magi and Bushiaki in this We'll Meet Again video. I think Astrum boosted my confidence to finish it. More furries. Cats and dogs are my comfort zone. I knew the pose I wanted, all spill, only getting her to not look like a cat was harder than expected. I think I got there in the end. The goal was to be scratchy and messy, which made her less pressure. Also, I don't know why I did blue meat, it just felt right. It's only a week or so till ArtFight ends at this point, and I still haven't finished something. I started drawing Orion on the 21st, and it wasn't until the 27th that I started on the flat colors for him in the car on my way to watch a movie. With an additional 30 minutes before the movie started, I finished the flats for Orion's fossil form and the background. The movie I went to watch was fantastic I liked it, was fun. Conical Crowd or Orion is a longtime friend of mine, and making these detailed attacks for him like the one I did last year are wholly unnecessary, but they are how I show appreciation and love for my friends, so it's worth it. I'm going to let the music play so you can see the details. Finishing it actually realized the pressure of having to find easy targets and cut as many corners as possible. I got my spark back. I drew a circle. Okay, that sounds like an easy target, but I actually had a clear idea. Draw a circle 9 times. I animated Silly Moon with a simple back-and-forth movement like what you might see a prop animatronic do. Like the clock from It's a Small World. And look! The face changes between happy and sad. Pretty cool, right? Now, onto a more elaborate animation. I wanted to make Wacknan roll on the ground laughing. So, I told him a good joke and called it a day. I started with a basic sketch of him and cut it up to get the rocking movement, feet kicking and tail correct before committing to a more detailed sketch. Starting with the body, then the tail, and lastly the hair. The sketching and inking were not that difficult. Keeping track of the stripes and markings was the hard part. Wackman doesn't have a set number of stripes or marking placements, but I have to work out where I want his markings to sit, or he can become too bouncy and distracting. It was the second to last day of ArtFight. I have nothing else to do that day. I was going to try to do as many attacks as possible. Shapes and colors. Gore warning. This frame will tell you when to skip if you like to. Mayhem caught my eye earlier, but I didn't have an idea for her. I drew what came to mind and just kept going. Her face was a little difficult to get the hang of, but I got there. Her hands looked empty, so I gave her a prop, a large and small intestine. Gore was one of my favorite things to draw when I was younger because I liked the detail that could be achieved. These entrails are not anatomically accurate, but that wasn't the point. The background of the balloons was my favorite part. After dinner I paced and figured out what I wanted to do with Sophie. She's a blue-haired girl. She's doing the Miku beam. Did this make her look like the Miku I drew before? Maybe, but you can't deny that lighting is cool. Now our last attack of that night. Dozy. I was on a roll and I can draw puppets. Even though it was after midnight, I would draw a puppet. I was right about this one being quick. Procreate says that I did this in 1 hour and 40 minutes. I went with pose 1 and also roughed out the background. They're the blue clouds to Astrum's pink clouds. Got to love the sleepy bear vibes. Next morning I counted, and with 3 more attacks I would get a badge. Today I would post them all at the end of day and work right one after the other. I looked at my bookmarks confident about Nat Patch. Give him a pumpkin as prop so that his action and his setting, a pumpkin patch. Perfect. My pen died when I did stripes, so those were done with my finger. I might have gone more ham on the shading and background than I wanted to. It's okay. It's only 4 o'clock. We need to move on, but who to draw next? I asked the 2 people next to me who should draw. One picked Marco Willowvale. I had an idea for him. Teeth. He belongs to conical crowd as well, so made sure his pose was right. After I was done sketching, the corner of my mouth was a little sore. The line art was my favorite. Oh, when I finished his eyes. The line art was my favorite. Oh, when I finished his eyes. Thanks to the line art, coloring was extremely easy. Very simple shading, but he didn't start looking like himself until then. The scars and scruff were done. My favorite part was last, his white eyelash. Next one. You know how I said 3 more? Well, I miscounted when I posted Marco. I got the badge for 35 attacks. I didn't have to draw Roby. Roby had to pose his roughed out, and I chose the dumber one. I went right in with line art, and I wanted his line art to be messy. I could have made it even messier. Oh, he gets a prop to a bullet. I don't know if it will hit him. Probably not. The rest was just vibes with cyan and magenta in mind. I think that brings us to the end. This is my bonus attack, a little treat for myself. I found keys while looking through the Has-Been Hotel tag and want that cat thing to meet my dog Teddy. If you want to watch any of the videos I mentioned, check the description below. If you're the owner of any of these characters, leave a comment please, I'd love to hear from you. Well, I've been Creature. Thanks for watching. See you later, Critter.